barriers of smart grid, then drivers of smart grid India, then challenges for smart grid, then difference between conventional smart grid and smart grid, then smart grid vision and roadmap for India, then concept of resilient and self-healing grid, then present development and international policies in smart grid, smart cities, and pilot projects in India. These are the several topics in introduction to smart grid in unit number first. Then these are the unit number first points. Then in which we have to read what is electrical grid, then evolution of electric grid, then existing electric grid system, then advantages and disadvantages of electrical grid. This is the first question. Then second question is what is smart grid, in which we have to read need of smart grid, functions of smart grid, opportunities and barriers of smart grid, then challenges and different policies used for smart grid, then roadmap and drivers of smart grid. Then first point is what is electrical grid, then in which we have to transmit power to the generating station to the load and finally distribute this electricity to end user with using transmission line. Their types, that is short, medium and long. Then also electricity provides building, industrial facilities, schools, homes. These are the examples of electrical grid. Then next point is basic structure of electrical grid. Then structure of electrical grid classified into four types, that is generation, transmission, distribution and last one is the consumer end. Then generation, in which we have to need power plant, then transmission, in which we have to need substation and also require high voltage transmission line, then distribution, in which we have to need distribution grid and substation, and consumer end we have to require house and commercial users. This is the basic structure of electrical grid. This is the overview of the grid. Then this is the transformer drum, then power poles, then this is the transformer placing power substation, this is the high voltage transmission line, this is the transmission line substation, and this is the power plant. This is the basic structure of electrical grid. Then also basic structure of electrical system. This is the generating station, and in which we have to use generator step up transformer. Okay. Then output side of the step up transformer is connected with the help of transmission line to the substation step down transformer. Okay. Then also the rating of transmission line is shown in, that is 500 kilovolt, then 345, 230 and 138 kilovolt, and the customer range is 138 kilovolt to 230 kilovolt. This is the transmission line rating. Okay. Then these are the consumer side. It is in which sub-transmission customer, and the rating of this sub-transmission customer is 26 kilovolt and 69 kilovolt. Then this is the primary customer and this is the secondary customer. Then primary customer range is 13 kilovolt and 4 kilovolt. Then secondary customer is 120 volt and 240 volt. This is the basic structure of electrical system. Depends on generation, distribution and transmission. And this total grid is referred to the electrical grid with the help of network of transmission line, substation, transformer, and in which more electricity delivered to the power plant to the your home or different types of industry. This is the basic structure of electrical system. Then evolution of grid. Then in 1880 the concept of electrical grid developed in with the help of energy system. Then also in which there are two types of electricity system, that is DC current system and AC current system, and also in which we have to need electric system grid, and the electric system grid is totally depends on the advantages of AC system with the help of utilization of companies, and these utility companies are built in larger area, and this electrical grid totally depends on the economics of the scale. Then also in which the stabilization is very important, because to stabilize the business environment using the regulatory compact between state government and customer. That means totally stabilize the business government in electrical grid with the help of state government and customer requirement. Then also this energy scenario also change in 1970 due to wholesale competition in electricity production. Also these facilities are produce power more efficiently, and in which we have to use renewable energy sources, and these renewable energy sources can be entered in marketplace with the help of ISO and RTO. That means easy to manage the environmental grid, and this grid can be modified with the help of Indian standard rules. Also in which we have to need vertical structure aspect of the electricity grid. Also this is the power grid regions in India. Then first is northern region, then western region, then southern region, eastern region, and northeastern region. These are the 5 regions and 5 power grid regions are present in India. Then advantages of national electrical grid, in which electricity can be used from any power station to demand in any part of the country. Also in which also require consumer, because power station can be built away from the large cities, and in which we have to need natural resources. Also in which we have to need extra electricity in the system. This is the example of needed, that is pump water and hydroelectric power station. These are the models of the national grid. Then also in which we have to need power station, and this power station needs to be turned off in the consumer, that is houses and business, because can continue receive to electricity from power station. These are the advantages of national grid. Then also require grid limitation. First is limit opportunities for development of merchant generation. Also required limited trade opportunities. Also in which we have to require the exact construction cost of grid. And the construction cost of the grid depends on generation, transmission, and distribution. And this total cost is compared to the market cost. These are the electrical grid limitations. Then next point is what makes grid smart. Then smart grid is developed with the help of different technologies, in which use digital technology, and this digital technology can allow two-way communication between utility and customer with the help of transmission line. Also in which we have to use internet connectivity, because smart grid will consist of control, which will use computers, automation, and new technologies and equipment working together. And finally, use better performance with the help of internet connectivity. And then we have to need different technologies. Then also these above technologies will work with the help of electrical grid and response digitally to or quickly changing the electricity demand. And also in smart grid we have to take integration between information and communication technology, and these both concepts are connected to electrical transmission and electrical distribution network. Then finally done the concept of smart grid with the help of digital technology. Then what is smart grid? Then it is a concept of electrical grid in which combine number of technology, and this number of technology can be controlled with the help of different policy and regulatory tracks. Also, the main function of smart grid is it uses digital technology to improve reliability of the system, also with security, efficiency of the electrical system from generation to delivery system with the help of electricity consumers and growing number of distributed generation and storage resources. And this concept is called as smart grid. That means smart grid totally depends on the digital technology, and finally goes to the result is improve the reliability of the smart grid and efficiency of the smart grid. Then why develop smart grid system? Then in which we have to acquire 4 results, that is aging infrastructure, then non-existing infrastructure, then also in which we have to need clean energy and renewable energy policies, and also require socio-economic consideration. These are the reasons to develop smart grid system. The benefits of smart grid are, it is also called as advantages of smart grid, in which we have to take efficiency. Efficiency depends on the more efficient transmission of electricity. Also in which we have to take quicker restoration of the electricity after power disturbances. Also which we have to take reduce cost. Cost is totally depends on the utilities and depends on the consumer's requirement. Also reduce peak demand, which will also help to lower electricity rate. Then also increase the integration of large scale renewable energy system. Then better integration of customer owner power generation system, including in which we have to use renewable energy system. Also require security. That is the in which we have to use digital technology, and this digital technology can be controlled with the help of security. These are the different advantages of smart grid, depends on the efficiency of the smart grid. This is the concept of smart grid, and this is the present concept of smart grid, and this is the future concept of smart grid, in which this is the transmission control center, and this is the distribution control center. Both are connected to the substation, and these are the consumers side, that is industrial customer, then commercial customer and residential customer. This is the present concept of smart grid. This is the future concept of smart grid. The main difference between present and future concept of smart grid, in which in future smart grid we have to use energy storage with the help of high temperature superconductive energy storage system and wind energy storage system. These are the two techniques used in future smart grid concept. This is the high temperature superconductor energy storage system, and this is the wind energy storage system. Then these are the supply electricity to the substation. This the same working, same as the top. This system to this system, storage energy storage is flow through the energy storage system, and this energy can be transferred from one station to another station with the help of transmission line control center. Okay. And finally, this transmission control center can be controlled with the help of distribution center, and finally electricity provided to the industrial, commercial and residential customer. Also provide electricity to electrical vehicles with the help of energy service provider. This is the advanced concept of future smart grid as compared to the present concept of smart grid. Next point is difference between conventional grid and smart grid. Then in conventional grid we have to use analog technology. Then in smart grid we have to use digital technology. Then also in which we have to use electromechanical operation, and in smart grid we have to use microprocessor concept. Then conventional grid is a centralized grid system and smart grid is decentralized grid system. Then it is reactive system, depends on the prone to failures and blackout, and smart grid is the proactive system. The operation of the conventional smart grid is manually, but smart grid is operated with the help of automatic or auto, with the help of semi-automatic system and with the help of self-healing concept. Then the cost of the conventional smart grid is one price as compared to the smart grid, and the cost of the smart grid is real-time pricing, in which we have no limited consumer choice, in which smart grid we have to require multiple consumer products. Then this is the conventional grid is the one-way communication, but smart grid is two-way communication. It is also called as integrated communication. Then conventional grid, which we have to need sensor. Also in smart grid we have to need sensor with the help control with the help of monitoring system. Then in which we have to need limited transparency with customers and regulator. In smart grid, condition and performance based maintenance is required. Then in which we have to need limited control over power flows. Then transparency with customer regulator. Then it is estimated reliability, and also in which we have to use control system, and this control system can be controlled with the help of predictive reliability. This is the difference between conventional grid and smart grid. Okay. The next point is functions of smart grid. Okay. There are four types of and four functions of smart grid, depends on their opportunities. First is technical, second one is financial, then commercial, regulatory policy, and last one is the social. Okay. These are the different functions of smart grid. Then next point is characteristics of smart grid. Okay. Then first part is self-healing and resilient concept of smart grid. Then enable demand response. Then integration of advanced and low carbon technologies, and also in which we have to need optimization techniques, and this optimization technique depends on the operational efficiency of the smart grid. Then in which we have to need customer inclusion, then power quality management, then market empowerment, that is market ratio is very important in smart grid, because in which we have to compare smart grid is to conventional grid. That means difference between conventional grid and smart is very important at the time of market ratio. Okay. These are the different characteristics of smart grid. Then next point is challenges for smart grid. These are the key challenges used for smart grid. That is, straightening of the grid is very important, in which we have to use different technologies, that is advanced technology. Then smart grid is give intelligent performance. Then also need communication technology. Then also require different integrating techniques used for generating side. Also in which use different storage system. Also in which we have to use different electrical vehicles, that is hybrid electric vehicles and concept of plug-in hybrid vehicles. These are the key challenges for smart grid. Then next point is challenges and opportunities used for smart grid. Then in which we have to use different smart tools and also use different advanced technology, because this technology is easy to utilize demand response, demand, load control and energy efficiency of the smart grid. Also in this concept we have to need expansion and upgradation of the infrastructure, because it gives to improve communication and interconnectivity of the smart grid. Also in which we have to need regulation in communication system, also require price, also requires cyber security, and this cyber security can be controlled with the help of internet connectivity. Then customer education. Then create models for to foster of the smart grid investment, and also in which we have to require regulatory framework of the smart grid. Also in which we have to develop infrastructure to increase the cyber security and internet connectivity of the smart grid. These are the challenges and opportunities. It totally depends on the advanced tools, advanced techniques, and this both are depends on the demand response and demand load control, and both are controlled with the help of energy. But the concept of energy is totally depends on the efficiency of the smart grid. These are the challenges and opportunities used for smart grid. Then next part is technical capabilities that deliver smart grid system. The first one is the secure and ubiquitous communication is required for smart grid system. That embedded system is required for smart grid, because it is easy to sensing, automation and control the smart grid. Also in which we have to need real-time optimization. Then also require enhanced design system and predictive monitoring system. Then distribution generation and demand response is very important at the time of technical capability of the smart grid. Then smart grid global drivers used in India, which we have to need main function of global drive system to increase the electricity demand, and in which we have to control the global warming, and in which smart grid global drive, in which we have to increase the electricity demand, but at an instant in which the ratio of cost of electricity is very important, because the cost of electricity is totally depends on the electricity demand. Okay. Then at time of smart grid drivers develop in India or any other countries, in which we have to need different parameters. That is, we have to need reliability, then efficiency, Then improve customer satisfaction, electrical vehicle system, technology, advanced technologies, then grid improvement and cost saving. These are the smart grid drivers used in India. Then also smart grid drivers with the help of different technologies used in India, and in which we have to need supply, continuous supply, and in which also reduces losses. Then in which skilled and knowledgeable persons using smart grid techniques. Then peak load management is very important. Then renewable energy sources. Then technologically progress is very important. These are the 6 drivers used in India, and this totally depends on the demand of electricity. Then barriers to implement smart grid. The first part is policy and regulation is very important. Then concept of business and business technology is very important. Then technology maturity and delivery risk. Then lack of awareness. Then access of affordable capital. It is in which we have to need capital cost. Then also in which we have to need employees. That is employees in skills and knowledgeable. They also require internet connectivity with the help of cyber security and data privacy. These are the barriers, and these barriers implement with the help of advanced technology to develop the countries with the help of smart grid system. Then next point is vision of smart grid in India. Then the main vision of smart grid in India is transform the Indian power sector with the help of secure system, adaptive system. Both system is sustainable and can be operated with the help of digital technology in 2027. At that instant, to provide more reliable and quality energy for all with active participant of stakeholder, that is active participant, skilled and knowledgeable employees using smart grid system. And finally, your target is achieved. This is the vision of smart grid in India. Then, in which we have to need roadmap. And this roadmap can be controlled with the help of purpose, process, and structure. Then, also in which we have to need stakeholders. And stakeholders can be controlled with the help of different technology. And finally, this smart grid technology can be achieved more energy security system. Also, it gives economic growth and environmental goal. And this total smart grid technology depends on the global series of low carbon technology. And finally, it gives smart grid can be controlled with the help of process and structure. And also in which we have to need legal and regulatory needs in at the time of roadmap installation. Also require investment cost, and this investment cost depends on the smart grid requirement, then public engagement and outreach. And these total points are collaborated with international smart grid. Okay, this is the roadmap, purpose, process, and structure. Then in which we have to increase the range of stakeholders in depends on the nature of stakeholder, then functions of smart grid, then cost of the smart grid, and benefits of the smart grid. These are the different ranges of stakeholder, and in which we have to identify most important action is required to develop the smart grid technology with the help of different policies, and these different policies can be controlled with the help of global energy and climate. This is the smart grid roadmap. Now